Hey, Barry at CTech-review. We just did a video on the 2025 Ram 1500 RHO of the top 10 things we like about this truck. I gotta do it, guys. I have to be honest and now go over the things I'm not so hip on the 2025 Ram 1500 RHO. So let's get into this. All right, what is my number one thing on the 2025 Ram 1500 RHO that I'm not a fan of? Probably the exhaust sound. But there's a caveat to it, because part of it I love, and that part of it is when I do long distance driving, this thing is whisper quiet, and I really like that, especially when we're towing, which we do a lot. I like that. But just the overall tone of the exhaust is not as appealing to me as some other 6-cylinder turbo engines out there. It's not terrible, and I've actually gotten accustomed to it. I think I'd rather overstate the fact that if you go into this truck with just the thought of you're not gonna like the sound of the exhaust, you probably actually won't mind it. But if you go into it thinking, oh my gosh, it's gonna sound like a V8, you will be disappointed. Second thing, what would I say is my next thing that I don't care for about the Ram RHO? I tow trailers a lot, and the thing that I really miss about the Ford trucks and some of the other things, GM even has this option, is when I hook a trailer up to this truck, I hit my left turn signal, I wanna get in my left lane. Those trucks would put the left side vehicle camera on that center stack display. I really like that, especially for towing, looking in your blind spots, it's amazing. On that same topic though, when you're backing up, especially with the Fords, there's an option where you can select both driver and passenger side cameras that looks down the side of your truck and trailer for backing into tight spots, which we do quite often. I wish that this truck had that feature as well. The next thing, two-wheel drive. Dang, do I wish this truck had two-wheel drive? And there's a lot of reasons I would like that. First is if you want to get that rear end a little loose, especially off-road, sand, snow, it'd be kind of fun to have that. Now they do have Baja mode and some other features that disable a lot of the front wheel action, but it's still not a true two-wheel drive option. One of the things I've worried about is, let's just say we're off-roading, and I was thinking about this, and we bust a front CV joint on this truck, off-roading, snap it. I can't disable the four-wheel drive system to stop that front axle from moving. And let's say we got to get home 100 miles. If we have a broken CV shaft on the front of this truck, we're kind of going to be up a creek to getting that thing out. And if that thing's just going to be wallowing around, it's just something I've thought in my mind. It'd be nice if you had a truck that's two-wheel drive. You could turn off your whole front axle and stuff's not moving around. I've not had that happen on a Raptor yet, thankfully. But it is something I've thought about in the past, is turning that off. The other thing is fuel economy. You know, you're going to take a little bit of fuel economy hit with not having a two-wheel drive option, and you're just going to get a little more wear and tear on your drive shafts, on your CV shafts, on your front differential. So that's something to think down the road. You're going to probably have to service those axles a little bit more, or the differentials a little bit more. The next thing, 37-inch tires. I'm still looking into this, but it looks like it's going to take a little bit of work to get 37s under this truck if we plan on using it off-road and using full suspension articulation. I'm not going to throw 37s on this truck and just be a mall crawler. We're going to push this thing off-road. We're going to be stuffing the tires into the wheel wells, and I'm still trying to find out what do we got to do to be able to do that without destroying the inner fender wells. So that's something we got to look into. Next, the front skid plate on this truck. It looks pretty solid, but when I look at this thing, I just can't see this thing as beefy as the Raptor skid plate. It just doesn't seem like it's gonna be as beastly, but time will tell. And then on that same topic, fog lights. So these aren't bad, they actually work really well, but it'd be kind of cool if it had, like the Raptor, a second set of fog lights built in, where you could run them on the aux switches. Here's the next one. To some people, this would be higher on the list, but it's not the most annoying thing, but it is still annoying. Center of this bumper right here. This is part of the hands-free system. There's some quirks about this hands-free system that kind of annoy me. Here's what I mean. This sensor, I found, if it's just the slightest bit dirty, the whole system kind of acts a little goofy. It just does not want to give you the hands-free driving, but in some cases, it's not only hands-free driving that doesn't work, you don't even have adaptive cruise control. And I'm gonna show you, that's the next thing I wanna show you about this. So this truck has your hands-free system and you have your adaptive cruise. The problem is with this system is you don't have standard cruise control. This is a big problem I have with this truck, where if the sensor, if the window's not cleaned, or if there's some fault or some issue going on, you either have adaptive cruise or no cruise. And if you drive highway a lot, this is gonna be very annoying. So unfortunately, I haven't figured this out, and it seems like it's an oversight from Ram, but they need to give people the option of just having standard cruise control if the adaptive cruise is not working. And on the topic of hands-free driving, I've been very impressed. It's worked in almost all the roads, other than we were just recently in the Upper Peninsula in Michigan. Hands-free driving was not supported up there. And I do believe after 90 days, this is a subscription-based service you have to pay for, which is kind of a bummer. Onto this display of things I don't particularly care for right here. You got this sick 14-inch display, and maybe 5-6 inches of it is camera. I wish they could make this entire display a camera. I really wish that. I don't know why they don't, but I'd love to see this whole thing. I don't need all these other stuff down here. So that's another thing. The other thing around the whole cameras, I'm yet to see an option where I can go and find, let me show you guys something. I can show a driver curb view. So for off-road, that's kind of cool. It looks straight down. And you can also find a passenger. Here's the passenger curb view. But I wish there was an option of where you could have down the side of this truck, down the side of the driver's side and passenger side, split down the screen. For maneuvering trailers and off-road, that'd be a sweet option. But the resolution on these cameras are really sweet. I dig that. One thing I would say, I think is a bit odd that Ram did on the TRX and RHO in a truck that's seen as an off-road truck. Besides the aesthetic looks of rocker panels that are black, I've never understood why in an off-road truck you'd want black, the color that shows scratches the easiest at the bottom of the rocker panel. I don't understand the point of it. I don't know what I'm gonna do if I'm gonna PPF the bottom. I'm not a big fan of doing the full body PPF. I don't know, we'll see. I've had mixed feelings with it, but I probably will do something at least along the bottom. Plus I'm gonna get some running boards, which will help. We went to the bigger XL rock blocks just to protect the sides, but I just kinda wanna show you guys a few things. So this is less than 3,000 miles. And if you notice, you're gonna already see a few little rock chips like right here, even like right here, nothing big, but you really feel some road debris here. Now granted, we live on a dirt road and we use these trucks a little bit off-road, so maybe a tiny bit of that is part of it, but I haven't used this truck off-road yet. So this is another reason I wanted to get more protection down the side. But you're gonna get some road rash here, so get something to protect your sides, and I highly recommend running boards and mud flaps to protect the side of the truck from debris coming up. It kind of reminds me of the Corvette Z06s. They used to get road rash really bad just from this area right here. So something to think about there. The next thing, fuel economy. It's not great. I didn't go into it knowing it would be great, but this is about probably a 13, 14 mile per gallon truck from what I can see. We'll know more once the summertime comes, and you gotta run premium. So you gotta build that into your calculus of this truck. Next thing, the heated steering wheel and heated seats. They're amazing, but the controls to me are a little bit cumbersome to turn them on and off. Let me show you what I mean. So there's a few ways to get to your heated seats. Now imagine you're driving down the road. You gotta accurately, there's a perfect example. You gotta accurately hit this button and turn these on and off. The way I use heated seats and heated steering wheel, I get in the vehicle, it's cold. As soon as my hands are warm, I want the stuff off. I'm not one to sit in the seats and want a heated seat for the next 20, 30 minutes of my drive. I just want the seat warm, my butt warm, boom, get it off. When these things are on, this is all on. See, this is annoying. So now I've got this screen on. But if I'm listening to radio and I wanna go back to comfort, I have to hit one button to get it here. Then I got 1, 2, 3. Now heated steering wheel, 1, 2, 3. So I had 7 buttons to turn off the heated seats and heated steering wheel. and you got to hit it accurately. Okay, so you got this display, or you could go up here, hit it accurately, and that's 3 plus 3, 7 buttons, individual clicks to turn heated steering wheel and heated seats off. You can also set up home screen. You can also, their little larger button, which I have set up right here, which is nice. What I would like to see Ram do is an over-the-air update at some point where you could have one button, or maybe even one command from a Siri or some button down below, where one button turns off heated seats and heated steering wheel, everything at once. Instead of 7 clicks, I'd like to see one action do what those 7 other things do. Some people like driving with heated steering wheel and heated seats on. I'm just not that person. For those people, they probably love the adjustability of a 3 different adjustable heated steering wheel. With that being said, the heated seats and heated steering wheel on this thing work awesome. I don't notice any cold spots along the heated steering wheel, no complaints there. I just wish there was an easy off button for everything. The other thing I'd have to say is this thing is so high tech and there's so many features in the center stack and the dash layout, you really need to spend some time to maximize the amount of making sure that technology is actually making your life easier. I am a low patience person when it comes to technology. If it doesn't make my day-to-day or life easier, I don't want it. So I'm still trying to figure out how to make some of this work a little bit easier for me. Next one, the passenger side display. Some people love it, some people hate it. I'm neither. I don't love it and I don't hate it. I'm just struggling to see the value of it. Does it look cool? Yeah, I mean, I've never had a truck with a secondary display up above. Looks super cool. I just don't see the value of it. I don't think we'll ever really use it. And what I would prefer is an extra glove box up above. I'm hoping to find more value in this so I can appreciate it more. But so far I have not seen that. Here's another one that's just kind of goofy and it's funny. See, it says VIN number. So this stands for vehicle identification number. It's not a big deal, but I think it's kind of funny that they said number twice. I'd love to see that changed. Next thing, sometimes these drive modes, when you hit these buttons, it just doesn't seem very fast. Like I'm hitting the buttons and it's just moving kind of slow. Not a big deal, but I would love to see it a little quicker. And here's something I've missed on our Raptor. We've got it in Baja drive mode. Cameras, I don't see the Raptor, the front-facing camera would come on. So I think you've got to basically just turn your camera on. What I don't know is if you can actually keep that on the whole time. We'll find out this summer. But in the Baja mode on the Raptor, it's kind of neat that it just kind of places that on automatically. The boys love watching off-road from that back row. They think it's so cool seeing this. I have noticed this is a very chimey truck. Every little action, I feel like you get a little chime in the dash sometimes. Sometimes when you're hooking up trailers, opening the door while moving up trailers. It'll be interesting to see how it is off-road. We'll get into that here in the future. Hey, so I hope you enjoy this video. So far, I don't have a ton of complaints with this truck. I think it's a really awesome truck. I've been happy with it, and I still think it's worth it, and I'd buy it again in a heartbeat. More fun videos to come on the RHO. Thanks for watching.